ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO of Unity Technologies, John Riccitiello.
So good morning, everybody, and welcome to GDC 2017 and to the Unity Keynote for 2017. Now, I generally open these things up with a little bit of a harking back to why we're here. We're basically here for developers. That's what we think about every single morning when we come to work. And we frame our thinking around these ideas. You've seen them before. Democratizing development. That means putting the most powerful development tools in the hands of developers, frankly, whether they can afford them or not. Solving hard problems. This is crucial to who we are. We want to solve the hardest engineering and business problems so you don't have to. Whether that's figuring out a way to, to get to multiple platforms or a particular lighting solution or a graphics end result that you're looking for, we're here to solve that engineering challenge for you. And lastly, and most recent to our list of a mission statement for Unity, it's enabling developer success. We know just how hard it is to make $1 in this business and to be a profitable business so you can sustain. And we're here to support you to make that truth for you. Now, Unity 5 was launched on this stage precisely 2 years ago at GDC. And at that time, we talked about 4 focus areas or 4 development priorities: graphics, quality and stability, efficiency, and platform growth. And it has certainly been a journey, and it's also been an adventure. We made great progress across all of these areas of focus, and I'd like to dig into that, a little bit of a review over the last couple years. Graphics, we delivered a lot. Better quality, expression, and performance. I think we've made it so that you can unlock the greatest power of the latest hardware and devices. We have the engineering power so you can focus on storytelling and the product you want to develop, what you want to deliver. Now, a lot's happened over the last couple of years. Physical-based rendering and global illumination, enabling virtual objects to look and behave like they would in the real world. Native Vulkan API support, multi-threaded rendering, single-pass rendering. It's a huge lift. It's been something coming literally every quarter, quarter after quarter, making a big stride forward. And what probably best exemplifies the progress we've made on graphics is the Atom demo. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but take a quick look at what we've provided in the last couple months. So we built that, launched it a year ago, to show you what's possible with Unity. So next up is quality and stability. And I'll start with an admission. We stumbled in 2015 with the introduction of 5.3. But early in 2016, we brought out 5.3.4, and we're back on track. We've committed to driving quality and stability across the board. We've more than doubled the resources against QA in the organization. And here's one measure of our success on this front. We've seen a 38% decline in the number of support tickets while adding 40% more customers. That is a massive gain. We think we're in a very good spot. There's always more to do, and there will forever be a focus for us. But we think we've gotten to a place that you can respect and be confident in. Now, next up is efficiency, making your job easier, faster, more fluid, better workflow. We want you to be able to start a game easily in Unity, and we want you to be able to finish a game easily in Unity. And we've brought a number of features to the fore: collaborate and cloud build, analytics, progressive light mapper, nav mesh tools, multi-scene editing. All of these things have enabled you to be able to create content simpler, easier, faster, and in a more satisfying way. We're unbelievably focused on this, and we're glad you're riding along with us. Now, platform growth. This is an area where we excel. Since I stood on this stage 2 years ago, we've introduced 16 new platforms. Here's a snapshot of the platforms we brought to bear in the last couple of years. So not only have we got iOS and Android, we've had that a long time, PS4, et cetera. Look at all the new platforms, a huge commitment to creating an opportunity for you to monetize your products over more platforms. And here's a snapshot of the tools or the platforms we support today, more than 30 platforms. Now, that's the life cycle of Unity 5, and we're super proud of this progress. But what matters most is what you achieve, what your goals are, what you deliver. And before I go through this, raise your hand if you've built or published a game in Unity. Well, that's nice, almost everybody in the audience. Let me give you a little summary of what you collectively have delivered over the last couple of years. Your games now make up 38% of all mobile games globally. That's what you guys are doing. That's up 4 percentage points, 4 points from a year ago. As a perspective, that 4-point gain is 3 times the total of what the other guys build on another platform. So you guys are lapping them again, and lapping them again. You should be very proud of that. Now, next, your games were downloaded 16 billion times in 2016. That's 31% growth versus 2015, a truly staggering performance. When you hear the guys at Google Play or at the App Store with Apple talk about the huge success of their platforms, it's because of you, or at least largely because of you. And this last statistic completely blows me away. In the last quarter, your games reached 2.6 billion unique devices. Now, lots of folks talk about how much reach they have on their platform. And look, it is amazing how many users at a Google or a Facebook reach. But look what you guys reach. This is truly staggering. And by the way, that 2.6 billion is up 1 billion from the quarter a year ago. That is it's a rocket ship. And you guys are driving it. You're manning it. You are, in fact, it. Now, you've done more than I ever thought possible. You've probably done more than you ever thought possible. But you've heard from me on Unity 5. But I work here. I think it's awesome that we're going to bring up to stage John Riccitiello from Space Ape. He's going to give you the developer's perspective, what it's like, on the front lines and what they've been able to achieve. John?
Wow, intimidating. Cool. Let me tell you about Space Ape. Space Ape is a 4-year-old mobile gaming company based out of London. Our mission is to make the highest quality and the most commercially successful games in the world. And one of the first decisions we made in the first month of starting the company was to work with Unity. We did that for 2 reasons. I think you'll recognize both of these. First is focus, second is speed. On the topic of focus, we're really good at making games. And Unity is really good at making a game engine. So we can focus on what we do best, confident that we're supported by what I think is the best game engine team in the world, helping us to achieve our objectives. On speed, we can prototype a game in 2 days during a game jam. We can build the metagame for that in 3 months. And we can have that game live in a year if we want to. And that kind of speed means we can afford to fail, can afford to try different things, and ultimately find success. So what I'd like to share with you today is what I've been up to, what Space Ape has been up to in the last 2 years. I was on the stage 2 years ago. We had a single game, Samurai Siege. A lot has happened since then, and Unity's been with us as a part of that journey. I think my real message to you, though, is don't just build a game. Build a business. That's the theme of my story today. So in the intervening years, since I was last up here, we've launched 2 games. Rival Kingdoms went live in 2015. Transformers in 2016. We made both of these games with Unity. And with Transformers Earth Wars, we made our first Unity 5-based game. And on the back of those games, plus continued success with Samurai Siege, we've seen some phenomenal growth. First of all, in terms of the size of our company, we've gone from 60 employees to 100. We've gone from 10 million players to 35 million. And we've gone from 24 million in sales all the way up to 92. All of that in 2 years. So to put it to you another way, 2 years ago, we were making about $1 million in sales every month. 2 years later, say last month, nearly $5 million every month. So it's a huge amount of growth in a short amount of time. And I'm really proud of what we've done. I view us as a company as a base camp, the sort of base camp of our industry. We have millions of players. We've got a great team. We're profitable. Very few have gotten here I'm cognizant of that. And at the same time, we look up at that mountain. And just in case you don't understand the extent of it, the handful of best-in-class mobile game companies around the world have tens of millions of people playing every day, and they generate billions of dollars every year. Their franchises are bigger than any movie in any box office that you've ever watched. We're talking about a huge opportunity here. We could grow our business incrementally, like I just showed you, every year till the cows come home. We're never going to get to the top of this mountain. And what we realized last year was that we would need to change our approach if we ever wanted to achieve that mission of ours, to make the best games. So what we did was go back to the basics. We said, all right, how are we going to accomplish our goal of making the best games in the world? And let's make sure that we don't waste any time making anything less. So we changed our mission. Let's just make really awesome games. I know that sounds trite. On the other hand, as people who make games, you know how much time we spend working on okay stuff. And the reason we do it is because we're terrified of how we're going to pay the bills and how we're going to keep people working at our company if it doesn't work out. It's so liberating to be in a position where you can say, I don't need to worry about the bills next year. Go ahead, try and do something great. The rest will take care of itself. And so that's exactly what we did. And the result of it was really a reinvention of our company. So first of all, we went from a slate way of thinking to a funnel way of thinking. And what I mean by that is, it used to be that I, as a founder, would effectively tell the company the games to make, based on my opinions, based on what I thought, a slate. And then we changed things around to small teams at SpaceApe would tell me what they wanted to make. And we, as a company, would run those products through a series of milestones to vet, are they really as good as that team thinks they are? Second, we dropped the size of our teams from an average of 20 about 2 years ago to 8 today. And because we did that, we could increase the number of teams we have from 3 2 years ago to 7 today. So today we've got about 60% of our headcount working on new stuff that you haven't seen before, all entirely different than the games we used to make. This one is Fastlane. It's going to go live in April. Fastlane is, on the surface of it, a very casual arcade shooter, but there's an extremely advanced metagame underneath it, and there's a whole lot of personality. In beta, it's got the sort of retention stats you'd expect of a casual game. It's got the kind of monetization stats you'd expect of a mid-core game, and it's coming really soon. Supercarts, working title. The team's idea here is a simple one. Let's take the very, or at least one of the very best genres historically in gaming, and let's put it on the biggest 2 platforms, Android and iOS, and let's see what happens. A tough project, one we've been working on for a year, but we think that the opportunity here is immense. So all up, we've got 4 games in development. We've killed 2 in the last 6 months. That's on top of 3 that we're already making. All of these games are built in Unity 5. I don't really know which of them is going to hit, but it's going to be an exciting journey. We're going to make that climb, and I recommend you do the same thing. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, John. That's an awfully impressive story. So next up, what I'd like to do is remind you that it's not just SpaceApe. It's all of you. And we've got a short video to show you some of the highlights of the Unity 5 series. You want to run the video?